I do want to ask, though, General Shivani, if you could come in on that, on the kind of support that India may have should this war escalate, and should Pakistan react in a way where we will then have to respond in full measure. I still feel more of a surgical strike and not the whole hog. I think India can do a lot more. That's just me passionately speaking after what happened in Pahalgam. But if you speak critically, what kind of help does India have? Who are the allies of India? I'm going to play out Donald Trump's reaction, President of the United States, where he's called this a generational feud between India and Pakistan, which doesn't sit well with me, to be honest. Why is there nobody acknowledging that they're a terror harbor?
Absolutely. And so we'll play out the bite, and once we are back after the bite, there's another question. Any one of you can jump on that question. Okay. Artillery has started to boom in LOC. That's breaking, and I think, if I'm not wrong, I think it's after a couple of years that the artillery is being used. For last 2.5 years, only small weapons were being used. Heavy weapons were not being used on LOC. Artillery has boomed. What does it mean when artillery is deployed? But after we play out the bite of Donald Trump.
Do we have Donald Trump?
It's a shame. We just heard about it just as we were walking in the doors of the Oval. Just heard about it. I guess people knew something was going to happen based on a little bit of the past. They've been fighting for a long time. You know, they've been fighting for many, many decades and centuries, actually, if you really think about it. No, I just hope it ends very quickly.
And that's the same Donald Trump who's taken a hard stance against Hamas, who's gone out all support for Israel, who's spoken about anti-terror operations and how they stand against terrorism in every given opportunity of his speech, and in every country and every given platform. When it comes to India, Pakistan, somehow Donald Trump or any other president of the United States has never really admitted that there is an inherent problem of terror breeding on Pakistan's ground. Why is it so hard for them to realize that this is more than just two neighbors fighting?
May I just come in on one aspect,
Sir.
which the president, who's supposed to be the well-informed president of the United States, and he makes a statement that this is a conflict centuries old. Seriously? Century old, there was no Pakistan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Spot on. You know, there was no Pakistan. But the fact of the matter is, you know, we all know how well informed the President Trump is on history, culture, politics, ethics. But well, he has a popular mandate.
He's literally corroborated your sarcasm by saying centuries-old fight. How trivial and how irresponsible for someone like him to say that.
Absolutely. I don't think it's so much of an irresponsibility as of I think US as a country is so self-absorbed with its own interests. It's really never bothered in depth and detail unless it impacts them in some form or manner. And I think Donald Trump is, in his efforts to sort the Russia problem out, has now backed out totally. So he has to make a comment. He's made a comment, and it just shows. I'll just leave it at that, at the depth of knowledge in a way.
No, but I will probe you on this. Air Marshal, you did mention how, and I asked you this question just last night about how United States must be carrying out this balancing act because they are selling F-16s.
There's a breaking news that has come in. As I said, artillery has started to boom. Artillery has, yes, Mr. Mishra, I'll come to you. Artillery has started to boom. Injury and death has been reported on LOC. The Press Trust of India is reporting that, I'll not give out the numbers, but death and injury has taken place, Mr. Mishra, on line of control.
On the Indian side.
On the Indian side. So, what does it mean to us when the artillery booms on the line of control?
Yes, Mr. Karthikeyan, I told you earlier also, they have used motors for the last 7 to 10 days. And it was there in Kathua, it was there in this place, Sundarbani also, Nausara also. But yesterday, they have used artillery because the use of artillery was noticed in Nowshera and also in Kupwara sector. These two sectors, use of artillery, they were noticed, and there were heavy attacks by artillery guns from Pakistan side at these two places, and also at the Tangdhar area, Kupwara area, Tangdhar area, Nowshera area. The artillery fire was noticed, and this is the first time artillery guns were used. We never saw it last 10 days. All the 10 days we had this MMGs and mortars, they were being fired. But first time, yesterday night, they have started firing artillery. This shows that they want to escalate the war. They want to escalate. So they want the repatriation. But anyway, we have not yet used artillery from our side, and the retaliation definitely will be heavy on their side if they do it. We are still using our mortars and all, but if they keep on using artillery, particularly very close to our national highway at Jammu, we have no other option than to open it up, because you see at Sialkot sector, they have both artillery and armored. I told you we have got full information because that area comes under it is an IB sector. So I have full information that whole artillery and armored, they are there in Sialkot area. So if they use it, they have used it at Nowshera, they have used it at Kupwara, they have used it at Kiran sector yesterday night. So if they open it up very close to our national highway, they want to block our national highway coming from Amritsar towards Jammu. They want to close it. So that definitely will be replied, and we are ready for that. In fact, the army has come to the IB also, and I don't want to speak more on this subject.
Okay.
Because we
fair enough. Let's not get into it. Yes, fair enough. General Shivane, your sense why LOC has become extremely hot?
Absolutely. See, these operations, why were they delayed by the time frame with a lot of sensibility? Was one, you don't launch operations without a proper intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance network. And therefore, we, out of the 34 or 36 terror camps, we targeted the priority one. The artillery, with post Pahalgam, the line of control was activated. Pakistan said the Simla agreement does not exist, so there is nothing known as a ceasefire. We had duels there, fire assaults being conducted across there, which exposed the Pakistanis' arsenal at the places where they responded, and through ISR we knew where they are. And today, this morning, we have targeted 10 of their launch pad with massive artillery strikes. I will not name them, nor will I name the sectors which are activated. But suffice to say, not only the launch pads, but also the places where they can possibly carry out low incursions or show their hands. They have been extremely hard hit, put their head down. Of course, there would be casualty to both sides. After the fire, this is something short of war. It is intense escalatory strikes. But then the escalatory levers are well within our hand, and it is to Pak to escalate. And therefore, this time frame was utilized to war game and be prepared for all levels of escalation. That's why this 48 to 72 hours launch did not take place, because today, whatever response come, and some response will come in whatever form, we are more than prepared. Second point I want to highlight is Pakistan has a geographical disadvantage. We can see their length and breadth. Their breadth is restricted. We can hit them with our arsenal well deep, whereas India is blessed by geography. Their arsenal and their hit will therefore be limited.